Welcome, beautiful souls. Thank you for watching. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. So, this one is about some more dragon stories. Before I met the golden dragon in the tunnels under the Bosnian pyramids, I had another dragon encounter some years before, and it went kind of interesting because I suddenly found myself kind of ESP with closed eyes in front of a dragon in some kind of landscape. Don't know where that was, which kind of location. Looked like normal 3D landscape, and the dragon was kind of greenish, brownish color, and was a positive one. Felt very friendly, and he bowed down in front of me, kind of showing me with that gesture that he wanted me to sit on his back and take a ride with him. So I did as I felt being told telepathically, and I climbed up to his back and sat right behind his head, and then he opened his wings and started to fly with me on top. And that was suddenly a different landscape. We were flying over a giant surface of really calm water, it was nearly like a mirror, and there was no movement of waves or something else to see. And when I looked down at the water and kind of felt, I always loved water. I love swimming, I love whales and dolphins and things like that. Even love snorkeling, although I never managed to dive because I don't like all these apparatus and the heavy gear that you have to wear. Snorkeling is more freely, as I think. And looking down on the water, on the surface, the calm surface of this ocean, the dragon suddenly turned his head backwards to me and told me, "These are your feelings." And I did not really know what to make of that. I knew that from the symbology in dreams and interpreting dreams, and also from some other traditions, that water is kind of a symbol for emotion and also sometimes for your soul. So I looked at the water a little bit closer, and suddenly it was as if I had kind of new eyes or a different view, because I could look through the surface underneath into the deep water, and there I suddenly saw people in armor with swords and spears and shields swimming around very, very fast and rapidly. And they looked like mer people going to war or something like that. And I was a little bit shocked because he said, "These are my emotions." So, under the calm surface of being kind of a friendly, trying to be a kind person thing, there was this hit and stab, there was war from the mer people, from the different representing different emotions and maybe contradicting ones. So I really started to ponder on that. And suddenly I noticed that we flew over the land, and it was like a giant volcanic island, or maybe even a continent. And the lava was flowing, and there was a lot of mist and clouds from the lava. And I could see the red glowing lava in parts where it already got more solid and cooled down and was looking more dark red or even brown or black, only with some kind of rips and tears where you could see through still fluid, hot red lava flowing or orange in color. And when I looked at the lava we were flowing over, the dragon, again turned his head back to me, looked at me, and said, "This is your anger." Wow, okay. I know I still am a sun sign Scorpio, and I was told that I was a very angry kid that threw itself down on the floor and started to cry and make a lot of drama if I did not get what I wanted. But I had to learn with five siblings that you don't always get what you want. And I already knew anger is kind of a challenge for me. I'm impatient and sometimes I'm easily bored and frustrated. So I knew, okay, he's right with the anger, but I didn't know what to do about that. And then he suddenly made effort to land in between the lava. And I was already thinking, oh my God, won't we get burned there or something like that? But he really managed to find a spot where he was able to land, and we stood on firm ground that still felt a little bit warm. And then I got a special teaching about my anger, which I'm not going to share here because it's very personal. But just to give you the symbology of your dreams and our emotions, like the water as a symbol for emotion and soul and movement, very often under the surface because we're very often not aware of our feelings or what they are connected with, mostly false beliefs. And in my case, the special anger lesson I got, okay, I'm still digesting on that. So that was another story when I encountered a dragon. And then I had this one snippet of a memory, like a little video clip, which I, up to now, could not make sense of. And now it's all kind of falling into place and the dots are connecting because of the golden dragon in the Bosnian pyramids who helped me along to understand a little bit better. So the one thing I remember is a snippet from a dream where I was in some kind of very narrow thing like a shell, and I could not really move. And I had my eyes open, and this kind of shell was cracking, and I could look through some tiny tears and through crackings, and I could see that I was in a high up place because I had a very good view, very far over landscape with mountains and valleys and everything green and looking very nice and beautiful. And I did not know what to make of that because it felt as if I was in a shell that was about to crack up, and as if I'm hatched from an egg. And when I started to research that, I even found some very old depictions in stone from humans coming out of eggshells. And I thought, wow, that's crazy. Were maybe some of the first humans kind of created in an eggshell, or is it just the metaphorical meaning, knowing that all life kind of comes from out of the egg in the womb, or or whatever. I didn't know what to make of that. And it was kind of so weird and crazy that I just put it aside, not negating it, but I did not understand it. And it took me some time in the contact with the other world to learn to interact, because in the beginning I was just in awe, and I couldn't speak, and I also could not ask anything because my upbringing by my father, who was a soldier, and that was what he knew. You give orders, yes and no, and the other one has to obey and not ask questions. Why do I have to do this, and why is that forbidden? I never got any explanations. My father just educated like that. Yes and no, you're allowed to do this and that not, and so on. So I never really learned to ask questions, but I'm learning it now more and more with all the other worldly beings. And it's very pivotal to ask questions. So I wasn't able to ask a question about this funny view from out of the eggshell, as if I'm in an egg high up in some place, who knows where. And then just recently, I was guided by my guides to watch a video which I normally would not have watched, and it was one of the Portal to Ascension videos with a man named Adam Apollo, never heard of him before, talking about dragons. And he described, you won't believe it, the same scenery. He said that he has a memory coming from out of an eggshell and having the view from the cracking eggshell to the outside. And then it dawned on me, okay, so it's not weird. And now I can make more sense of all that. But I'm still struggling a little bit because since a while my guides are telling me all these beings that and that's I think the same for all of you as well, all the beings we encounter in higher dimension or astrally or however, they are just versions of myself, of yourself. So now it slowly makes sense that I have a connection to the dragons and had different encounters with dragons. Maybe I even once was a dragon hatched from out of an egg, or maybe the dragons hatched humans in eggs. I don't know. That part I'm still missing. Although, as far as I know, Source created the dragons first as the most powerful beings. And with the first creation, you had, like a cell, if it wants to create another cell, they kind of split into two. So, with the first creation, the duality came to pass. So, there is light and dark everywhere. So, you have positive dragon beings, and you also have some negative dragon beings. And the dragons created the angels, and the angels created all the other races. And this creation game is carrying on and on and on. The Anunnaki created humans by tinkering the DNA of the first ape-like hominids they found on Earth. But now they have to come back because of kind of the false thing their ancestors did with us, because they acted against cosmic law, to always respect free will and never interfere or try to control or colonize and have dominion over other planets, races, or beings. You have to respect free will and allow their own development. You can aid to this positively if you're invited, and if cycle-wise, because all these evolution happens in cycles, not only here in our solar system, in nearly every solar system, because they're all evolving according to the plan of source. So there are special times when this help is coming and more positive energy via maybe a solar flash, or at the end of these cycles always there's kind of a split. You have to make your choice which way to go. Do you want to go to the light, or do you want to try out the dark? So that's where we are right now as well. And I just wanted to share my dragon stories with you, and I hope you get some inspiring ideas, or feel something to go and search for your own connections. And maybe now you think a little bit different about some of your encounters. Like Bashar is kind of the future self of Daryl Anchor, living in another parallel reality in our linear false timelines, so to speak, 300 years ahead of us. But it is him, it's a future incarnation of himself. So he is working with a version of himself. And my guides tell me that it's more or less like that with everyone. Wherever you have your connections, might be with the Fae, the fairy realm, or the angelic realm, or with nature beings, with animals, with plants, or with crystals. Some are grid workers, other are light workers, or whatever, I think I'm only here. Okay, they tell me that's right. I'm allowed to say that. I'm here as a way shower to show you that you have the connection to source inbuilt inside of yourself, and the heart and feeling is the entrance. You don't need anyone in between you and your connection with source inside. And that's the whole process. The teacher, the master is in your heart. It's your own soul. You don't need a guru, and whoever plays the guru is just with his spiritual ego, and is not doing the right thing. But we are also here to learn discernment, to discern one from the other. That's why it's so important to know thyself. Not only that we have the divine connection and can work on that, but also to know, your ego, your flaws, and your false beliefs, and everything you're trained to think or you were taught in school. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you very much for watching. Blessings, love, and light, dear souls. Bye.